And the devil, how he mind messed up, and these same-sex couples want to get together, get married, and have a family, and all of that. And all that mess is straight from the pit. Amen.
That's it.
Amen. There's no way that can be.
Yeah.
And it talked about in Genesis there, when it talked about how the man, the Bible what it's called, God created male and female, and that a man would leave his father and his mother.
Yes.
And cleave to his wife.
Yeah.
And the two shall become one flesh. If you read it now, you'll find the word cleave. It means to be joined together. Amen. Now, I got a problem with that because I can't see why these people trying to get together the same sex, amen, and it's impossible because it's impossible to do that because in order to join something together, amen, it has to be a certain way, amen. And if you notice, they use fasteners and a lot of different applications. And those fasteners, they fit together, but they fit that they make a certain way so they can fit. Amen. All right. And so God had all of this in mind when He created a man and a woman. Amen.
Yeah.
And so men and women today, I look at it when something happens up here, and they get confused with as to who they are. Amen.
Yeah.
Well, I know I got a man's body, but there's a woman inside of me. I know I got a woman's body, but there's a man inside of me. No, it's just a bunch of stuff. It's just a trick of the enemy. Amen.
All right.
And the devil has people confused. But the family, amen, is one of the great institutions that God, He ordained. The family, amen.
Oh, yes.
And the reason for a family, amen, was to produce, amen. To reproduce, amen. And God created man that he would go forth and he would multiply. There's no way that a man, a woman and a woman can produce, amen. They can't do it. All right. Scientifically impossible. They can't do it, amen. So God, He created man and woman the way He meant for them to be, and then He ordained the institution of marriage, which is the foundation for the family, amen.
Yeah.
Now the family, amen, I look at the family and I hold it in high esteem because of the fact that the family is the foundation even of society itself, amen. The community and everything else is stems from the family, amen.
Yes.
A community more times than often can be no better than the families that make up that community.
That's it.
Oh, I know I'm telling the truth. And y'all look at me funny, but the truth anyway.
All right.
Amen. But the family, amen, needs to be rooted and grounded in the Lord. Amen. Abraham, we find in Abraham here where Abraham, God called Abraham. And He told him to get up and get out from amongst his folks. All right. To leave and go to the land where I'm going to show you. And my subject today, by the way, was sleeping with the enemy. Sleeping with the enemy. Amen. And Abraham, amen, God saw that it was necessary for him to get out from around his folks in order for him to do what God had for him to do. And that holds true for us today. Every one of us here, amen, when God saved us, amen, He called us to do something.
Yeah.
And sometimes, amen, our families can hinder us. Y'all don't believe that, do you? Abraham was told that he said, you go to this land, amen, and you go where I show you, where I tell you to go. And he even took one of his kinfolk with him, Lot. And then what did Lot do? He stopped in one of the most sinful cities, amen, that are along the earth, and he set a residence there. The city of Sodom and Gomorrah. And there, amen, he found himself in a bad situation. Yeah. Among a bunch of homosexuals, amen. And God, He was very displeased with it. And caused Abraham to have to pray real hard to get him out of that place. Yeah. God was going to put everybody in the city. But he prayed, amen, and he gave Lot a chance to get out with his family, amen. And you'll find that even to show you how the devil been messing with families, when you go back to Adam and Eve time, you'll find that even in their family, how the devil was stirring up stuff. Oh, yeah. Adam and Eve, amen, even in the garden, a lot of times people, and I'm talking to today, but these are some things we need to talk about. Sometimes a little bit reluctant, but people hear it all the time. But when you look at sex, some people look at sex as being a bad thing. All right. But if it was bad, God never would have made it. All right. But it's a good thing. And even believe it or not, if Satan would not have never tricked Eve in the garden, that still commit sex. Because there's a reason for it.
All right.
The reason for sex, like I said, was reproduction. And it's a way for a man and his wife to show love between one another. Amen. It's the truth anyway. And so, Adam and Eve, even in their own family, just imagine that 130 years old, they bearing children. Amen.
All right. All right.
And even in their family, one of their children, Cain, allowed Satan to enter into his heart. And he wound up killing his own brother. Y'all know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm talking about sleeping with the enemy. Now, Jesus told in Matthew, he said, a man's foe will be those of his own house.
Yes. Yes.
People that condition themselves, amen, against the attack from without. Amen. We set ourselves or we brace ourselves, we get ready. Because why? We feel comfortable, we feel safe in our own house.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But Jesus said, I come not to bring peace, but a sword.
All right.
In other words, I come to set a variance. In other words, there's going to be a division here. And when the Lord comes into the house, more times than often, especially where there's a family that Christ is not in, amen, he's going to cause a division.
All right.
He's going to cause a division because of this. God requires for every one of us, amen, to proclaim his name wherever we are.
All right.
Amen. So sometimes we come from a family that like to party. They like to drink. They like to have a good time. Amen. And when God come in and save one of us, then we don't want to no longer be a part of this stuff. And then the people started looking at us funny. There have been some men had to leave home because their daddy told them, boy, you can't stay around here with that stuff. You got to go. Some daughters had to leave home because mama told them, girl, you got too big for yourself. You done got saved and got this Jesus all in you, and you can't be around us no more. Some people had to leave home because of that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I'm here to tell you, with God be the glory, amen.
Yes.
Sleeping with the enemy.
My God.
Except God is in a family. Y'all let me slow down and take my time.
Take your
Oh,
time.
yeah. You got the floor.
Except God is in a family, there's not going to be no peace. You hear me?
All right.
All right. That's it.
There's not going to be any peace. Except God is at the center, there won't be no peace. Why? Because the devil set out from the beginning to destroy the family.
All right.
He set out from the beginning because he knows that the family, as I said, is the strongest institution on the face of the earth. And families united under God can stand against anything.
All right.
Whatever storm Satan throws their way, they can stand. Why? Because Christ is at the center. And when God is at the center, amen, and he told Peter, he said, upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. So when we got Christ in our life, amen, and Christ is operating, whatever Satan do to drag us down, he can't do it. I know what I'm saying. Sleeping with the enemy.
All right.
You know, the faith of Lord would tell us, boys, whatever you do, you be careful. Make sure you marry a girl from our church. Marry one of our same faith. Tell the boys the same thing.
All
But
right.
if you ain't careful, the first thing they do, amen, is somewhat like Lot. They become contrary. Sometimes they go against everything we teach them. I don't know what it is about kids. I got some. I know y'all got some.
All right.
Amen.
Yes.
And all of them always do what we tell them to do. Y'all know what I'm saying? And I'm going to tell you why. Because don't blame yourself when they get up and they start going wrong. First thing a lot of times mama do is say, oh, where did I go wrong? Where did I go wrong? It's not that you went wrong, but every individual got their own personality. They got their own ways, they got their own way of thinking, and they got their own way about doing things. All right. So it's not a question of whether or not you done wrong, but the Bible tells us this: it's to raise a child up in the way it should go. And when they get old, we have to depart from it. Now, that puts a big responsibility on the family.
Yeah.
That big responsibility for our family is for this: the man whose God has put in the head, talking about Adam.
Yes.
It is his responsibility to lead his family in the way of righteousness.
Man.
It is for that man, amen, to step out and follow Christ first. Even if his wife don't want to go sometimes, it's up to him to make that stand.
All right.
If you want a happy home, if you want a peaceful home, he got to make that stand.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right.
Oh, yeah.
I know what I'm saying. I know I'm telling the truth today.
All right.
There's been many men and then they'll step out with the Lord and start to walk. And sometimes they rise up